Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again for this another movie review. I know these videos have been coming out a little sporadically over the past few weeks. College is drawing to a close and all the projects and finals are piling up. But that being said, this is my review of Birdman, the movie that took home the Oscar for Best Picture last year. And all I can say is it was for very good reason. This movie, if you don't know, is about an actor who it's about an actor who played a superhero called Birdman back in the 80s, I think it was, and it's pretty much a parallel to Batman. Like if you remember the Batman and then Batman Batman Returns and Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. At least those first two, those classic, not classic at this point, Batman films. That's about where Birdman is supposed to be. And the actor who's the star of this film had played Batman in one, and I forget which one of those four classic Batman films. Well, a couple of them aren't very classic, but that's besides the point. So this actor who played Birdman was a huge star back in the day. Is now he's done playing superheroes. He turned down Birdman 4 because he wanted to be a real actor. He wanted to actually do something that was important and not a silly popcorn flick like a superhero movie, or at least that was his perception. So now he's writing, adapted, produced, and directing and starring in this play that he's putting on Broadway. And it is just, the play is sinking fast. He is losing actors, he's losing money, and he's losing his relationship with his daughter, who is helping him out backstage, and she's dealing with her own problems, namely like drug abuse or whatever. And he is trying to keep this thing held together. And this is the story of him struggling, this actor struggling with, is this play relevant? Am I a real actor because I'm doing a serious play instead of doing Birdman? Could I go back and do Birdman, do like Birdman Returns or whatever? Would that make me a sellout? And just because you do superhero movies, does that mean you're not as high a quality of an actor as someone who does more serious, down-to-earth stuff? And this movie is really, really relevant in our modern film atmosphere, where superhero movies are dominant. And not only are they dominant, but most of them are really good. They're high quality. They have they're acted very well. The effects are done well. The story is the directors care a lot more about the story than just throwing things on the screen. They throw things on the screen and have a good story to it. As like the Avengers and the X-Men and the Batman Dark Knight trilogy have shown us, it can totally be done. But this movie Birdman is all about talking about this climate we're in. It has several big long speeches that feel very natural. It's in no way is it forced, but every now and again a character will just sit down and like tell another character and basically tell the audience how it is. There's the main character's daughter thinks that her dad is being silly for rejecting social media. He doesn't like YouTube, he doesn't like Twitter, even though if he used those things, he might he could use them to his advantage like so many people do. Like there's YouTubers now who are at least as famous as traditional actors and TV personalities. It talks about critics, about how critics, people who review movies or plays, how they either praise or destroy somebody's work that the critic didn't put any hard work or like usually they do, but possibly they didn't put any hard work into destroying something that somebody spent all their time and money and heart and sweat on. Um, it talks about like the reality of people being on stage, true acting versus like just putting on a face, putting on a character. Um, it talks about the things that can mess actors up when they get too involved in roles like how the rumors of Heath Ledger as the Joker, how he got too into his character and that just messed with his mind. This play has all kinds of relevance to what's going on in cinema and plays today. It has a lot to say and a lot of really thought-provoking ideas. In amongst, it's just characters trying to put this stinking play on stage, leading up through the last of the rehearsals to opening night. And you, while you're like getting all this great content, are just wondering, are they going to be able to get the play done, and is it going to be a good play when it finally comes out? Are the people going to like it? Is it going to be a success? And even this movie does it so well. Now, the thing that just blew me out of the water, because any movie can have deep themes. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. A lot of movies have deep themes, and this movie does have deep themes, but there's something here that just like eclipses that completely for the first bit. Like, you're not even paying attention to how much you're learning and feeling, because this movie looks like it's all one shot, like a play. Now it's not all one shot. Like, days pass and you can see where there's a transition that happens, or where there should be a transition, but it's so flawless that you forget about it. It looks like it's all one shot, and the actual scenes that are taken in one shot are as long as scenes from a play, which is just wonderful. And I always wondered about that, because films, a lot of times, from what I understand, they they will do like takes of just like a few sentences, and then okay, change the cameras on. Okay, the next few sentences, and just string the whole movie together like that, and it works, obviously, because movies work. But plays, you have to put on a character and stay as that character for 2.5 hours. And I always wondered why movies you can just shoot a whole scene. And they obviously did that here. There was no like if somebody messed up, they would have had to have gone back and redone the whole scene. And it's just really impressive. Not to mention, it's impressive how well they masked where the transitions happened. Like, it'll be the next scene, you're like, oh, wait, an hour's passed, hasn't it? But I didn't see where the camera cut away. Because it'll just be like a glance up at the sky, and it comes back down, and you're in the next scene. Or it goes over the railing from up in the balcony to down on the stage, and you don't see the transition, but it's a new scene. And it was so impressive. Now, as much as I really love all the performances in this movie, all the character interactions in this movie, there were just a few gripes. Number one is it can be a little confusing. It's very much an art house film. It doesn't have a straight, clean, linear narrative like people are used to, like superhero films do. That's easy to follow. It really wants you to think. And because that, me personally, it got a little confusing at times. Like, you'll know what I'm talking about, but a lot of times when the main character's alone, you start going, what? Because it seems like things are happening that shouldn't be happening in the real world. But yeah, I think it's supposed to be like in his mind, but because it's all one transition and you take it like as reality, when the non-real stuff happens, it throws you for a minute. And a lot of times it's used to good effect, but for a little while I just wondered what was going on. And maybe some people like that, some people won't. And there's a ton of profanity. This movie is rated R for so much so much cursing. I would complain about that because I don't particularly like that, but part of me feels like they're just being honest. Like I've worked backstage in plays. I can't speak for movies, but in plays, and yeah, there's plenty of profanity dropped left and right. So maybe they're just trying to be honest, but it made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And it might make you, but you might not care. But I'm not gonna detract points from it because I felt like it was just like saying, here's how it is in real life. And lastly, a little bit, I feel like this this film has so much to say about other films and plays and things in the world that it forgets to tell its own story once or twice. It may just be me and the confusing nature of the narrative, it being an art house film. Once or twice, I'm like, oh, okay, stop telling us about other things and come back to telling us about this play, this character, this story. Like they focus so much on the social relevance this movie has towards superhero movies that it drifts too far that way, and I'm like, okay, come back. And it doesn't happen often, and it doesn't happen for very long, but it happened once or twice, and that's enough for maybe like half a point off my final rating. Speaking of my final rating, this movie I'm giving an 8.5 out of 10. This movie is awesome. I can't say it deserved to win Best Picture. I didn't see all the films last year, but I can totally see why it did. There's just a couple of times where it wasn't perfect, and because of that, I can't give it a perfect score, but dang it, this movie was good. And I do recommend it to anyone who appreciates film, theater, or just good movies in general. Alright, well, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you later. Bye.